My name is 𝗤𝗏𝗃. Hi, Ari. Nice
Hi,
to
Peter.
see you. I'm located in Europe and I am in the financial sector. And I have a question for you, Ari. I don't know, maybe it's too challenging for you. Let's see. It's related to your one call sales model going down the iceberg. And very often when I have been on in your mindset club on the Q&A, you always say, build a business case, amplify the losses, make the return on investment clear. So it's a no-brainer if it is a fit. And that's where maybe I'm a little bit stuck in one situation where the company where I am, internally, we have the competences, we have the knowledge, we have the resources to maybe bring a new service to the market, B2B, to very small investment funds where there is maybe 1, 2, 3 people. The service is something as boring as anti-money laundering. Well, if you not get it right, or the fund not get it right, it can have huge consequences, fines, confiscation of asset, maybe close down the business. And of course, when you set up a fund, these people, they have an investment idea. They're not passionate about doing money laundering, spending the time on it. So that's where we maybe see we could offer this service to others. Where I see the challenge is building the business case, amplify the losses. Well, there's not really, maybe I do not see it clear enough, but there's not really any losses yet. That's something to avoid in the future. So for me, it will become something like future selling. There's another any profit in it because they will not gain anything except maybe time freed up to do their strategy in the fund.
So, I think I see where you're going with this. And
yeah.
I think I see what you're saying. I understand that there's no hard loss yet because they haven't experienced the pain or the problem yet. So you're trying to sell insurance, basically. You're trying to say, hey, if you get our services, it'll prevent the problem. That's what you're doing, essentially. And so
exactly.
So what you have to do is you have to help them see clearly the risk gap that exists inside their business that they themselves cannot see.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to discuss and spend time and admit that they have risks in their business, because they usually want to identify and count how much they're making, not the chances of losing anything. So your job, as you take them down the iceberg, so to speak, ask them questions, is to help them see and identify the gap and risks in their market that they may yet be exposed to that could financially hurt their earnings. If they have one breach, only one single breach could be how much of a loss, right? So what you have to do is come up with some questions that will help identify the gap, amplify the gap for them to see for the first time that they are operating in an environment that's high risk, and there could be money flowing through a system that they cannot identify that could be considered, not good money. So we have to work together to figure out the right questions for that. But that's your mindset. Your job is to think about, how can I create a series of questions for them to understand and see for the first time the risk that they can't see, by helping them understand the impact of one single breach that could affect their whole business. And that's where you begin to get an ROI, because if something does happen and they don't have your service protected, they could lose their whole business for all we know, right?
Yeah, that's worst case scenario. They can be closed down by the authorities.
But that is a realistic scenario, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, you now have a business case to help them understand this by helping them, by unraveling the problem and asking them to what extent they're concerned about it, to eliminate that risk that they might get in trouble because of it. So that's the angle you need to think about. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah, absolutely. Because I always thought of losses, well, that's money you lose now or already is losing, or profit there. Well, there's no profit, but it makes a lot of sense, Ari, to
This is
look
about
at it from this way.
is about step one, risk. Step two is the impact of the risk.
Yeah.
So take it in that sequence,
Yes.
like that. That'll help you structure your questions to bring them down that path, to help them see for the first time and bring to the surface the importance of not ignoring this anymore.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Peter?
Great. Thanks a lot, Ari.